Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10. From March 1st through March 31st, 2020, if you use this promo code, you will automatically be entered into a drawing to win a WPN Mystery Booster Box. Also, there's another way to enter where no purchase is necessary. See the link in the description below for full details. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to this special edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. This is our Picks of the Month video for March 2020. Quick word about this series, obviously it comes out once a month, and it does go out to gold patrons first, so by the time you see this on YouTube, it could be about 24 to 48 hours later, although I'm not expecting the prices to shift that much on the cards we're going to be talking about today. With that out of the way, let's get right into it, and we're going to start off, as I do every month, with the purpose of this series. Two things I want you to know before you watch this video. One, this is not a strategy video. I'm not necessarily talking about the best cards to play in each deck that's out there. I'm talking about cards that could be poised to increase in value, again, sometimes short-term, sometimes long-term. Which brings me to my second point. This is not a get-rich-quick video. I'm not saying take these cards, buy 100 copies, and try to flip them. This is about gradual, more substantial growth as opposed to cards that are going to spike and go back down. Like you saw on the previous screen, today's topic is going to be cards from Modern Horizons. I thought it was time to revisit that set because so much has changed in the Modern format since we last talked about these cards. In some cases, hot cards are still hot, and I'm still recommending that you pick up a playset. In other cases, though, you're going to see some differences here based on where the meta has gone recently. Alright, we'll go through in color pie order, starting with Force of Negation at $32.30. Not a cheap card, but this is a card that potentially could go up in value. This, along with many cards in the set, I think are going to be difficult for Wizards to reprint. First off, the set's not that old, so it's going to be a while anyway before Wizards probably gets around to reprints. But secondly, with powerful cards like this, it's going to be difficult sometimes to find products to put them in. I could see this card before getting a reprint, maybe even getting up to $60, $70 someday. But for right now, if you have the opportunity to pick up a copy or two, it might be a good time. It's a big modern card. You're going to find this in popular decks like Bant Snowblade, even sees Legacy in some vintage play, which surprised me a little bit. When this card was introduced, I didn't really see that happening because of Force of Will. This card is being played sometimes in sideboards, sometimes in mains, above and beyond 4 copies of Force of Will. This also gets a lot of competitive Commander play now too, which is another very popular format. Next I have Urza Lord High Artificer at $36.03. This is a card that used to be more expensive, but there was a lot of shakiness, a lot of uncertainty in that modern format recently, and that stems from the fact that we had a lot of bannings, we had the Oko time period, but now that we're seeing this new meta start to come together, guess what? Urza's still good. Dimir Wurza decks and other variations on those decks are doing well. This sees Legacy play too. It's a huge Commander card as well, again, especially for competitive Commander. Next is Plague Engineer, a little bit cheaper now at $4.52, and this is a extremely solid sideboard card right now in Modern as well as Legacy. It can deal with things like humans and spirits. That brings us to another great sideboard card, Collector Oof at $4.16. Again, this shows up in Modern and Legacy decks and sees a bit of competitive Commander play too. Third verse, same as the first, another great sideboard card with Force of Vigor at $5.51. Not only does this see sideboard play in Modern as well as Legacy, but it also shows up in Vintage too, sometimes even in the main deck. This is another card that's also seen a fair amount of Commander play recently as well. Speaking of Commander, the first Sliver at $12. So, Slivers are always going to be popular in Commander. When you get these Sliver Lords, there's going to be a demand on them. And whenever they make new Slivers, which we saw happen with this set, or they reprint old Slivers that are key ones like Sliver Overlord not too long ago, there is a renewed excitement about Slivers in the Commander format and prices start to go up. This card at $12 actually feels like a pretty good deal right now. Again, if you shop around, remember we're always talking about average prices in these videos. You can probably find this for under $10 relatively easily. And if you can grab a copy, I would. This can only go up over time. Icefang Codel, currently at $6, and this is a card that's seeing a lot of Modern play right now, partially because Bant Snowblade is such a popular deck, but it shows up in other decks in the format too, even see some Legacy play, and it gets a tad bit of Commander play as well, sometimes in Yurok the Desecrated builds. I feel like $6 is extremely reasonable for this card, and again, you can find it cheaper. Lightning Skelemental, here's our budget card of the video. For just $1, you can pick this up, play set for easily under $4, I'm sure. And it's gaining some momentum now in Modern. You're finding this in Rakdos and Earth and some other decks in the format. It's also seen some Commander play recently in Grev and Predator Captain builds. All right, here's the opposite of budget. Renin 6 at $50.98. But this card has lost a lot of value due to the banning that it received in Legacy. And I don't really think it's going to become unbanned in Legacy anytime soon. But I do think it's still a very good card. Now, this is still losing value ever since that banning, so I might wait a little bit before I pull the trigger on this one if you want a copy. But if you can eventually get this for closer to $40, maybe even under $40, I think it is a very good pickup. It's a solid modern card in decks like Jund and others there. Sees vintage play too, and some commander play as well. And our last card of the day is Prismatic Vista at $25.30. This is a very versatile land. It's not for every build in the modern format or the legacy format. However, it sees a lot of play in those two formats whenever you have a deck that's running enough basic lands to care about this. And there's a lot of decks that do. It just kind of depends on where the meta is, exactly how many. But this is a card that's always going to be in demand. And again, beyond that, this has become a huge commander card. All right, that does it for the Picks of the Month video. Again, these are all cards that I would consider picking up playsets of if you don't already have them. Lastly, I would say overall, keep a close eye on the market if you are buying. With the lack of big tournaments, we may see some unexpected softness in certain cards, especially from formats like Modern. Cards could still go up in the short term a little, especially if they're being played in multiple formats. But over the long haul, a year, 2 years, some of these cards may become quite pricey. Until next time, though, stay safe, take care of each other. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page, as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.